Welcome to Iraqi Dinar Hub. Today we refollowing a big story coming out of Iraq that is turning heads across the global financial scene. Reports say Iraqi officials have officially rolled out a new contract rate for the dinar, and that is a pretty major move. It is being seen as a real shift in policy rather than the usual buzz and speculation that has surrounded this currency for years. The rate has been confirmed by the country's central authorities. And it's already getting serious attention from analysts worldwide who are digging into what it could mean for Iraq's economy going forward. The heart of this story is understanding what exactly this contract rate is and why it matters. It's not something you'll see on a regular currency board or that people can trade with at banks. Instead, this type of rate applies to large-scale deals. Think government projects, corporate contracts, and international trade agreements. Financial experts say this kind of move usually signals confidence. It's the kind of step a country takes when it's ready to handle big-time global trade. It tells the world Iraq sees strength ahead for its currency and economy. To really understand how important this could be, we've got to look back at where Iraq and its currency have come from. The dinar once had serious value in the region decades ago, but conflict, sanctions, and instability took a heavy toll over the years. The result was a low currency valuation that sparked endless speculation about if or when it might recover. That's why this latest announcement is such a big deal. It's no longer just talk or rumor. It's a clear government action tied to official monetary policy. This contract rate shows something tangible, a concrete step that hints Iraq is moving in a new financial direction. Experts around the world are watching closely, trying to figure out what this could mean for the country's future. The early reactions have been a mix of curiosity and optimism, with many calling it one of Iraq's biggest financial headlines in recent years. One theory making the rounds is that this might be a test run, a way for Iraq central bank to see how a stronger dinar would perform in real-world high-level transactions before making bigger moves. If that theory holds up, then this contract rate could serve as a kind of trial phase, would give policymakers a chance to see how a higher valuation affects large contracts, trade settlements, and the broader economy. Things like inflation, imports, and reserves, all in a controlled way. Others believe it is less about testing and more about sending a clear message to the global market: Iraq is stable, open for business, and ready for serious investment. Either way, the takeaway is the same: people are paying attention. Unlike the fear-driven narratives of the past, this time the talk is centered on reform and progress. Analysts say the tone has shifted, with more focus on Iraq's economic comeback story rather than its past struggles. And that makes sense because this move didn't happen overnight. It's been building for years through quiet, steady work behind the scenes to modernize Iraq's financial system, strengthen its banks, and clean up its economic structure. Over the past few years, Iraq has been working on upgrading its financial systems, making its banking network more transparent, and aligning its monetary policies with international standards. Those steps have helped rebuild credibility with key institutions like the IMF and World Bank, which have always emphasized reform as the foundation for long-term growth. On top of that, Iraq has been tightening anti-corruption measures a huge deal. Considering how much corruption has held back development in the past, add to that growing foreign reserves and slower inflation, and it paints a picture of a much healthier economy. So when analysts say this new rate is more than just a number, they mean it. It's a signal, a statement that Iraq is ready to move forward. Still, experts are quick to remind people what this rate actually means. It's not for the public. Regular currency holders won't see or access it. It's designed for large-scale transactions and government-level projects. But even so, it could pave the way for bigger changes down the line if it proves stable and effective. Historically, when countries introduce special contract rates like this, it's often a way to test the waters before considering broader changes to their currency's value. It's a soft launch, a way to gather data and build confidence without shaking the economy too fast. If Iraq manages to pull this off successfully, running these big contracts without triggering inflation or instability, then it could set the stage for something bigger later on. That's why so many in the dinar community are watching so closely. For them, this feels like proof that the government is finally taking real action towards strengthening the currency. But the pros are also reminding everyone to stay realistic. Adjusting a national currency is no small task. It takes time, coordination, and a lot of planning. Still, the symbolism here is powerful. Iraq isn't shying away from the conversation anymore. It's starting to take real measured steps to back its currency with policy, not just words. Financial historians point out that other countries have used similar approaches when rebuilding their economies. Kuwait, Vietnam, and even China have all gone through stages where special contract or tiered rates played a role in transitioning to stronger, more stable currencies. Iraq might now be on that same path, and the timing couldn't be more interesting. Oil exports are up, foreign investment is returning, and the region feels more stable than it has in years. All those elements together create the kind of environment where a currency can start to grow in value. There's also a big psychological shift happening here. For years, the dinar debate has divided people, believers versus skeptics. Now, with an official contract rate in play, the tone of that debate is changing. Some of the critics are starting to reconsider their views. While those who believed in the dinar's potential feel more confident than ever, it doesn't confirm a full revaluation, but it confirms movement, that Iraq's monetary team is taking real steps and not standing still anymore. Another key part of this story is Iraq's push to grow internationally. The country is making moves to sign new energy deals, attract infrastructure projects, and tap into modern financial systems. Having a contract rate helps with that. It gives foreign partners a dependable exchange mechanism for large, long-term deals. That kind of stability matters when you're talking billions of dollars. It tells investors that Iraq is serious, that its currency is backed by structure and policy. And that can create a powerful cycle. More trust brings more investment, which can strengthen reserves, which can further lift the currency. Experts say this moment could be one of the biggest turning points for Iraq's economy in decades. If the strategy works, it could transform Iraq from a higher-risk market into a respected emerging economy. For many, that's the dream, to see the dinar evolve from an undervalued currency to one that represents a strong, credible nation. That's why this story is such a major deal. It's about more than numbers. It's about identity and progress. Looking ahead, the rest of 2025 could be huge for Iraq's economic story. Financial outlets are likely to keep this topic front and center because it's not every day a country makes a move like this. The launch of this contract rate feels like a statement, one that says Iraq is ready to step up, to stabilize, and to show the world that it's moving forward. Experts say the key signs to watch now are new trade deals, updates from the central bank, oil export numbers, and whether big companies start signing contracts under this new system. If those indicators start moving in the right direction, it'll confirm that Iraq's plan is working, that this isn't just a symbolic step, but the start of a real comeback. Right now, all eyes are on Baghdad. The message from the financial world is clear. Iraq is taking its time, doing it right, and preparing for a stronger future. This could very well be the start of a major new chapter for the dinar, one built not on hype, but on solid, steady reform.